Hello Cancer and welcome to my channel. Sorry, that was my crystal just falling off there. Yeah, welcome to my channel, Inspiring Life Changes. My name is Colette and this is a reading today for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp energy of Cancer. And if you don't know where those placements are, Cancer, there will be a free natal link in the description box down below for you to go and check that out for yourselves. I kind of got thrown out there by crystal falling off my Buddha. So, big read, Cancer, is how I'm going to start off telling you about this reading. It's a big, mega big. I don't know what's happening in your life, Cancer, at this time, but something major is taking place. You have got literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana cards out on the table here. So the first card, and another major arcana card over here as well, which is the first card I'm going to start with, the overall energy for the reading. This is a general read, Cancer, so it may not resonate with all of you, but we have the 7th major arcana card for you here, Alchemy, also known as Temperance. And as it kind of donates at this time, alchemy or temperance is about literally kind of mixing things together to try and make something whole or complete. So there may be a situation in your life at this time, Cancer, where you're trying to bring maybe 2 things together, maybe more than that together, but it's trying to bring, could be parts of yourself, Cancer, that you're trying to bring together as well. The card itself, if you look here, is kind of divided diagonally down the middle. And you've got on one side, you've got an energy that is kind of older, this side here, and this side is more of a younger, new energy. So maybe it's kind of trying to balance the old, like your past, with your new incoming future energy as well. But it is trying to, with the 2 cups as well, which always for me represent the kind of masculine, the feminine, the silver and the gold divine energies. It's kind of trying to bring something into balance here as well, which could, and also it could represent the need for healing parts of your own personality or nature here, because we have in the card, we have the devil depicted, we also have an angel, we also have like a younger person and a skull, which is kind of representing the like the older death energy as well. I don't know if you can see that very well. There's the 2 faces there, and then if you go down, there's 2 faces there as well. Also, we have this moon and this sun here as well, again representing that masculine side of the self, the sun energy, and the kind of intuitive, emotional side of ourselves as well, the moon energy. So for me, this is about kind of you working on bringing something into alignment in some ways here for yourself, Cancer. I also see the Temperance card as an energy of trying to flow with something, trying to make something flow so it becomes like easier for it to happen. But it does talk of balance. There's 2 cups down there as well, which again represent the masculine and the feminine, bringing these 2 energies together to create something new. But it does also feel, like I was saying, the old energy and the new energy, you're trying to maybe balance the 2 up. But it did come out upright, so that's very positive. But big energies. So the first card that you have in the actual reading here, which is the Celtic cross that I'm doing today, we have the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is about your self-worth. It's about how you feel about yourself, literally, your success, your own way of doing something. It's about kind of realizing that where you have got to, it's like it's a 9, so it's almost a 10. It's like almost reaching that point of completion, almost reaching that point of feeling complete and whole and satisfied. And again, the 10 would be balanced as well, whereas the 9 isn't as balanced. But it's also saying, again, it's this feeling of recognize where you've come from, recognize your past and what you've learned from it and what you can bring into your future energy as you're moving ahead. Because the 9 does talk about still kind of looking into your future, knowing that there is still more to do here to reach that 10 energy, that 10 of coins, that success, that completion in the kind of physical domain as well, because it is a pentacle which talks about the earth energy, the physical reality, the environment. But the bigger message for me here is you needing to focus on how far you've come rather than looking backwards looking forwards and thinking I've still got so far to go. This is also about you having achieved this for yourself, even though you may have had other people around you who have supported you, given you guidance, helped you along the way. Ultimately, nobody did any of it for you. It was like you had to do it, you had to put the work in, you had to take the steps to get to where you are on your own. Nobody's actually done it for you, is the message of the 9 of Pentacles. Which is why you can kind of pat yourself on the back and recognize that you have achieved a lot, Cancer, so far. But you have crossing you the Queen of Pentacles. Now this is just a general read. I say just a general read, but this is a general read rather than a love read. But this could actually be somebody in your life who it's a crossing energy, and it literally fell out onto the table crossed, like it came out in a crossing energy. So it feels as though there is this person, Cancer, who has a lot of this earthly qualities about them. Somebody who's very nurturing, very motherly, very loving. Doesn't have to be a female, it can be a male as well. Gender neutral. Just the fact that it is a female in the card, so it's depicting her kind of feminine attributes, as in nurturing and homeliness, like somebody who's a good home builder. This could be your own energy, Cancer, but I don't kind of get that feeling. I kind of get the feeling that this is somebody in your life that you have around you. But at this time, because of I feel as though this is about this kind of past and future energy. So this could also be to do with before you kind of take these steps forward to reach that point of success and that point of happiness. That there's something here that you need to finish, something that you need to come to terms with, or something that you need to, it's like you need to face up to something with this. And this person could be somebody who you feel has played a big part in your life here. Somebody who has helped support you, been there for you. It could be a mother figure. It could be your own mother, Cancer. It could be a sister, it could be an aunt, it could, again, it doesn't have to be a female, but it's coming through with a strong female energy. And the reason I'm saying that is because we also have the Empress on the table as well. So that's why I feel that this is a strong feminine energy around you. It could also, like I was saying, be an aspect of your own feminine side, Cancer, that you may not be in tune with at this time, that you may kind of be pushing aside, or like not wanting to acknowledge these qualities within yourself at this time. You may be very career orientated as well, with the Nine of Pentacles here. You may be very focused on your career, and you may not want to be looking at this side of your personality, or you may have had to, there may have been a situation where over this last year where something has happened where you've had to take stock of being a mother, or it may have been something that you, because of everything that's happened in the last year in 2020, you may have had to have brought this into your life a lot more, and you may have found it difficult if you have been very career focused, Cancer. You may have found it difficult to actually kind of relate to this energy. But this is a building energy as well. It's an energy of wanting to build something, wanting to, not in the same way as the King of Pentacles, but more in a sense of building like family and friends, and it could just be that you feel as though you've been kind of isolated as well on your own, having to kind of look after yourself, know your own self-worth, but that could have been difficult for you as well, Cancer. So let's see what else we have here in your head, and what you're aware of at this time is the Strength card in reverse. Again, it's that kind of masculine and feminine energy. And when it's in reverse, I often see this as being something that's like your own strength is being used against you, or you're coming from a place of too much strength, like it's not balanced, it's not in alignment here. Because it talks about like the animalistic, more aggressive, more kind of instinctual, just coming from that kind of reactive place, as opposed to being more, again, like that nurturing, understanding, kinder kind of, because here she's kind of taming this wild beast, but when it's upside down, for me, I kind of see it more as this wild beast has kind of overridden this feminine side. So it could be, because also with this alchemical energy here, it did feel as though there was this kind of need to balance up that masculine and feminine energy and not come too much from one side or the other. And at this time, it may be that you're feeling like you're needing to be more aggressive, you're needing, and when I say aggressive, I mean kind of more, how can you put it, more like determined not to not to okay, I'm getting the words determined not to be a walkover. I don't know if that means anything to you Cancers out there. I know that Cancers are super sensitive and very caring, very nurturing. Naturally, they want to help people, and they can be taken advantage of very easily, being a water sign. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling with these, is that it's got a lot to do with you not allowing yourself to be walked over. Okay, we'll see what else comes through. So the energy that's moving away from you, what you have had in your life, the sun energy in reverse, is saying to me that there has been, or there was, a situation that was filled with happiness, and it was filled with joy, and it was filled with kind of like a sense of, this is where I want to be, this is what I want to be doing, this is my ultimate happiness, my ultimate goal. It can't get any better than this. And yet, being in reverse, it's kind of saying that something happened, which could have something to do with this Strength card as well. There could have been almost like competitive energy between you and another person here, Cancer. Like maybe you or the other person always had to come out on top of this situation, because something definitely upset whatever was growing and successful and happy. And underneath it, in the subconscious realm, kind of root energy of where you are at this time, is the Ten of Wands in reverse. So there is a need to let go of the past energy here, I feel. I feel that you're holding on to something, Cancer, that has caused you kind of a lot of struggle. But with the 10, it's like you've reached that end point of it. It's like the struggle is still there, but it's only there because you, in some way, you're still kind of feeding into it, because it's in the subconscious. That means that it's buried deep down, and you may not even be aware that this is what's happening. That this is where your energy is still coming from. It's still coming from this place of kind of battling through something to get to the end. It's like carrying all of this heaviness still. You're still carrying all of this heaviness, when really you can release it. With the Ten of Wands upside down, it is kind of saying to me that it's time to just let that go, even though it's easier to say it than it is to do it. But you do have the Chariot card as the energy that's moving in, and it is upright. So this is saying to me there is movement coming. There is things that are going to change. However stuck this may have been. And this energy here as well, along with this energy, because it all feels as though it's coming from the same place, the same source. And I feel as though it's got something to do with this, which could again be a mother figure. It could have something to do with your past energy, the mother in your life. But there is this heaviness that needs to be let go. But like I'm saying, this Chariot is kind of saying that that is going to happen. You are going to start looking more forward. Another thing with the Queen of Pentacles as well is she can be very unforgiving. And it's not like in the same way as the Queen of Swords unforgiving either. It's kind of, the Queen of Pentacles will trust you as long as you have given her no reason not to. But if you wrong her, or wrong her to a point of like no return, which kind of happens because she is forgiving, she will kind of reach out and forgive, or she will allow you to reach out and forgive. She will accept forgiveness as well, shall we say, both sides, which again I feel is this temperance, alchemical kind of something changing within you energy. So again, this could be your energy, Cancer. You could be feeling like that you are not in a forgiving place at this time as well. But as I was saying, she does have this kind of like forgive, 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 and then you keep on doing the same thing. You keep on making the same mistakes with her, and she will just, it's like, I like to see it kind of like her drawing up the like the drawbridge, literally. She's like, you know, she'll be in her castle, and that's it. There's no getting in once her mind is made up, because Earth is very fixed energy. Once the decision or the mind is made up here with the Queen of Pentacles, it is very, very difficult to get her to kind of relax enough to let that drawbridge down again. So that could also be something that you are experiencing, or are going to, or are experiencing, or you are either in that energy yourself where you are not wanting to forgive something or somebody, or somebody else is in that energy with you. Or it could just be that you're having trouble getting through to somebody or something about, again, as I was saying, this could also be career. So there could just be this very stubborn energy here, somebody who's just not willing to meet you halfway. Because it does feel very, like I was saying, competitive. So the next card that we have out is the Empress in reverse, which is why I feel that this is the same energy. Again, it could be your energy, but it does feel like somebody in your life here, Cancer, who you have a strong attachment to. But there's also a feeling at this time that you're kind of focusing on the lack rather than the abundance of a situation. Because the Empress, when she's upright, is all about abundance, bringing in plenty. She represents Mother Earth, that constant giving energy. Again, she also represents the mother figure herself as well, which is again why I feel that there's a strong connection between these two cards. But the Empress can also represent that person who, for you, is like they're etched on your heart. Or you could be etched on somebody else's heart. But the Six of Swords coming out next in the upright is also saying to me that there is a situation here that you are going to be Again, past, future energy. It's like these three down here is kind of leaving that turmoil in the past. Looking for calmer waters, wanting something more peaceful. No longer wanting to deal with the strife and the stress and the difficulties. Wanting to move forward into a new future. And you have the star as your hope and your fear. And again, we have these two cups, these two alchemical cups that she's kind of pouring the water out of here. And the star is about wishing, literally wishing on a star, wanting your dreams to come true, wanting something that you really, really, really want, like really want. It's a hope. It's your hope and your fear. It's like you really hope that it's going to happen, but at the same time you really fear. There's a lot of fear that if it does happen, what would you do? But that doesn't stop you wishing and hoping for it. That can also feel like something that is so strong, so kind of like destiny, that you can't avoid it. And again, I'm getting the feeling with these two cups down here as well, as I was saying, this kind of, because temperance is also about relationships, which is another reason why I think that this has got a lot to do with relationships, and it could be tied up with a career as well. It could be somebody who you work with, who has a very strong influence on you. So these two cups again for me are the kind of masculine and the feminine. And another thing, as I was going to say about the temperance energy, is also about communication, because if there is no communication within a relationship, there is no relationship. So it talks about well, not so much the star energy, although I do think that they're very connected here. It talks about keeping something flowing, because if it doesn't flow, it stagnates, and if it stagnates, then it dies. It's like if you think of a river, a running river, it's full of life, it's full of oxygen, it's full of creatures that are living on it, in it, around it. Whereas if something stagnates, then that energy just becomes like, yeah, like stagnant, dead. Like I'm seeing this kind of really dark, murky pool in my head that's just like there's no life in it. All the life is gone, it's left. And that's basically what I'm feeling with this connection here, this relationship, which again could also have something to do with the two parts of yourself as well. But it feels more as though there is somebody involved in this situation. And the last card that you have out here, Cancer, is the Wheel of Fortune, which is saying that things, again, the Chariot and the Wheel of Fortune coming out together does imply something definitely moving forward. And with this star as well, again, it's also kind of linked to destiny. I'm literally seeing this star here, very much like this bit here in the middle. And of course it's this bit here in the middle that turns, and when it turns, everything else around it turns. So it's the centre. It's the very centre that makes the difference. And if you see him down here, this is the Ten of Wands energy here, like carrying all of this on your back, Cancer. carrying all this weight, carrying all this like karmic energy, like your personal karmic energy is how it's coming through. Almost like a sense of, I don't deserve any better, I don't deserve to be up the top, even though it is upright. And I feel that maybe at one point you were up there because of this sun energy as well, which I'm kind of seeing in the same light as that wheel, as she's sitting up the top, crowned on the top of this wheel of fortune. And it's like you are heading in that direction, is how it feels. You are heading in that direction, but you do need to drop this, which is like lots and lots and lots of baggage. Lots of old, no longer relevant baggage that's keeping you caught up. But things are moving. It's, again, with the Six of Swords as well, things are moving. Another thing with the Six of Swords as well is that as you kind of move forward, there's a sense of like, you don't know where you're going necessarily. You don't know what's going to happen when you get to where you're going. Everything is kind of up in the air in some way. You don't even know who's going with you. It's a new future. You haven't created it yet. It's like it's there. It's almost within reach or within sight, but it hasn't actually kind of come into manifestation yet, shall we say. So let's see what the confirmation cards would like to say to you. High Priestess and the Three of Discs. Another major arcana card. High Priestess and the Three of Discs. Well, the Three of Discs is about teamwork, building. As I was saying, that this does feel as though this has got something to do with a work situation. Also because I feel as though on some level it may also be how you value yourself as well. That you see your value through what you do rather than who you are as a person. Cancer, that's not all of you Cancers out there, but it could be for some of you or quite a few of you. But the Three of Discs here is kind of saying that there is something being like created, or there is something like teamwork going on here. It's like there is but it feels as though it's something more than just teamwork. It feels as though there's a deeper level to this. A deeper intuitive kind of understanding. It also feels as well that, I don't know why, but you may be missing something that's very obvious. Almost like it's too obvious. It's so obvious that your intuition kind of like, it's buried deep down in your intuitive knowing, but it hasn't yet risen to the surface, is kind of how it's feeling here. But if you go within, if you look within, you will find the answers. to whatever this problem is, or whatever this Queen of Pentacles is, whatever she represents for you personally, Cancer. And it's kind of, there is something here, it feels, that can be built on. Again, it feels like, you know, wanting to bring that something together, or to create more than you already have. But it does feel as though, because you are a Cancerian and you are very instinctual and you are very feeling, it's kind of saying to me, go within to look for the answer, rather than kind of trying to find it outside of yourself. Because again, with the Nine of Pentacles there as well, it's kind of implying that same thing, like nobody can do it for you. They can help you, they can support you, but at the end of the day, they can't climb the ladder for you. You have to be the one to do the climbing of the ladder, or whichever. But that's just an example of, like, you know, you have to do the actual work that's involved, that's needed, has to come from you, in order for you to feel worthy or successful, or that you've achieved. And over the top of the Strength card, we have the Son of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords, air energy, logic, it's interesting because he's got his eye on that chest there, which is kind of full of treasure. And it's come out over the top of this Strength card in reverse. Which could also be implying that within, like, this situation here of you, almost like a maturity. Like something that you need to, I don't want to say like grow up about as such, but it's something like bravery. Feeling brave, being brave, and you're not at this time. It doesn't feel, with this card here, you're not feeling particularly brave. And again, it could be that you are feeling that other people have, or one person in particular has that hold over you, or that strength. They have that strength over you. But the Son of Swords, I mean, he's a hunter. Yeah, it's interesting because there's all these broken flowers on the floor as well. Almost like broken dreams or something represented. Again, he's not particularly emotional. Swords, it's air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. That logical way of looking at the world, of understanding the world. Again, I'm feeling like, you know, there's something here to do with this treasure. Very much to do with the way that you view yourself, in a way, the way that you, as I was saying, almost like your self-worth is tied up in what you have, what you can gain. What you have, what you can gain. And it could also be a loss as well, like leaving something behind, because the sun is kind of, it looks like the sun is setting in the background there. And although he's still got his eye on that treasure, it's kind of looking like he's walking away from it, which could also represent this Empress energy as well down here. So maybe you are trying to find the strength there, Cancer, to leave something behind, something that you want to take with you, but maybe you know that it's not worth as much as you originally possibly thought it was. Maybe it also is part of this burden as well. With these Ten of Wands here. Part of the burden that you need to let go of. And focus more on the future energy. And we have the Ten of Discs over the top of the Sun card in reverse. So it feels as though there was this kind of completion, or there was this, it feels like the rounding of a circle in a way, like something that completed. Because you have the 9, and then there was like one more which kind of completed this circle. But on some level it also feels as though because this is past energy as well, it feels as though there's something that like has been removed from that, with the 9 of Pentacles, like there's 9, there's not 10 in the center, the energy that you're dealing with here. So and it almost feels as though there's this gap down here as well. There is a gap down there, but that's kind of what I'm being drawn to. I'm being drawn to this gap rather than all the people. It's like there's all these people surrounding you, but there's this gap. So it could also be something to do with this energy here. Of something that's not complete. Although in this picture she's actually giving birth as well. So there is a kind of family and community energy around this as well. So with the Sun in reverse, it could well have been that you had this kind of happiness of this completion, of feeling like you'd found your tribe or your family or your happiness, your success, your contentment in a way. But because the sun's in reverse, it's kind of saying to me that it didn't complete. Something has been left open. And over the top of the Ten of Wands, you have the Ace of Cups, which I feel is this kind of moving forward energy as well. It's like something is changing, something is being removed, all this heaviness, all this baggage, all this carrying everything on your shoulders. And not just for yourself, but for just about everybody else around you, which could also have something to do with this energy as well. But the Ace of Cups is saying that you're ready to dive into something new. Literally, you're ready to kind of submerge yourself once more in that experience of love, happiness. There's the two swans there, and two swans mate for, or swans mate for life. So that's another signal that you're kind of ready and open to finding somebody who you can connect with on that deep level, that deep emotional level. That's what you're looking for, Cancer. Is getting rid of all of this and starting afresh. A new beginning, a new start in love. Or if it's not with somebody, a new start of something new in your life that you are going to fall in love with. Something that's going to make you feel content. Because that's a big cup that she's diving into. And it's overrunning as well before she's even in it. It's like overrunning with like emotion. So it just feels as though you really are kind of reaching that place where you just want to dive in to your own emotions and just experience and feel love, be loved, give love. Two cards. So we've got the Six of Swords again, and we've got the Five of Cups over the top of this Chariot energy. So the Six of Swords is saying that you are moving on to me. There's a definite movement happening here. Definite movement, moving forward. And with the Five of Cups in reverse, it's kind of saying that you are still what I'm actually feeling is that you are ready to leave that place of pain, unhappiness, sorrow, sadness. So if you see this, I'm not quite sure what it is, this creature here, he's crawling out of this shell, this cup here, which is interesting because Cancer of course carries their shell on their back. So it looks to me as though you are looking for this new home. You are looking to find where you belong. You are looking for your happiness here. you're wanting to create this new future. And this Six of Swords has also got a kind of resemblance again to this Wheel of Fortune here, where they're all kind of coming together with those swords, all pointing into the centre. Almost like saying, like, you know, this is the important part. This centre part here is you. This is your energy at the very centre of that wheel. And all of these spokes here are your kind of thought forms that you send out about how you believe life is going to be, or what you do and don't deserve. So that's how it feels to me. It feels as though you're leaving that situation with the Five of Cups. And that cup there that you've not, you've kind of outgrown it, it feels. It feels as though you need a fresh, which is what this Ace is also saying to me as well. You need a new love, a new sense of being valued. But with the Chariot here as well, it is saying to me that things are moving forward. And they could start to move forward very quickly for you, Cancer. Also, it could be as well that there has been a situation where you have felt out on a limb, where you had to leave this situation. It caused a lot of grief and a lot of sorrow. And you kind of felt with this Six of Swords here that you were, because the Five of Cups can also be about being left out. But it just, yeah, it feels like a situation of where you are leaving something behind and moving into this. Also with the Six of Swords as well, there's a tendency or a sense of your emotions pushing you forward to make it happen. Like if you weren't emotionally in that situation, if you weren't upset, if you weren't feeling sad about something or upset about something, or, you know, you wouldn't need to move forward, you wouldn't need to. So it's like on some level they all kind of, they fit really well together, almost like the wheels of this chariot, in fact, is how it's kind of coming across here. Like they are the wheels that are driving this chariot forward, is this sense of unhappiness. Could also be a sense of guilt, melancholy. It's just an overall sense of not fitting, like outgrowing the situation and having to kind of move into new energy, like fresh pastures. So yeah, the Six of Swords can be emotionally driven as well, because you often see the Six with somebody in a boat and there's like turbulent water all around them, and it's the emotions that are kind of driving that boat forward. But it can also bring clarity as well. And you've got the Six of Swords twice. You've got Strength card again as well. So many Major Arcana cards. So this Strength card is up the right way. And it's over the top of the Empress. So the message that I'm getting with this, again, is with this Strength card in reverse and this kind of being used against you, and now the Strength card is up right here. It kind of feels as though this is, again, it's saying like you're moving in that right direction. You are finding that inner strength to feel content with who you are, to be strong in a situation, to not allow yourself to be manipulated or walked over, or constantly feeling like you're having to stand your ground, or a sense of competitiveness, as I was saying. But it feels as though this kind of feminine energy with this Empress, and then this Strength, feminine energy here as well. Like there's something about this female, this feminine energy, whether this is past energy or present energy. I think it's a bit of both. And it feels like this, again, this female energy, this person is helping you, even if you don't realize that at this time, because you're not feeling as though you're getting anything from this person, because it's in reverse. They could well have blocked your energy here, Cancer. Somebody could have just shut off completely with the Empress in reverse. But it feels on some level like you are actually gaining strength here from this situation. Because you're no longer that Strength card up there. You're no longer coming from that place of weakness. It feels like you're coming from a place of knowing your own inner strength, knowing who you are, knowing your boundaries. Knowing also who you do and don't want in your life as well is what's coming through here. Because she's surrounded by all these different animals. And they're all diverse. It's not just kind of one type of animal. They're all very different. but she's sitting amongst all these animals. I mean, there's spiders and scorpions and wolves and all sorts of creatures there that could be dangerous, but she's not backing away from them. You know, she's welcoming them. So it's like there's no fear is what's coming through here as well. It's like overriding your fear, or finding your inner strength. And over the top of the Six of Swords, we have the World in reverse. Sorry about the glare from that, the lighting's changed. So the World in reverse is saying that there is a situation that is coming to an end. You may not necessarily want that to, like as I was saying, like you have to leave things behind. This is the past, this is your future, and you have to kind of make decisions as to who you're taking into your future, who you're leaving in the past, who is the end of that cycle. Kind of a same kind of feeling with this card here as well. Who is it who no longer fits into your world? Because that circle is literally made up of people all joined together. So on some level you may feel as well as though this is kind of taken out of your hands, that this ending is happening, and you don't really feel that you maybe are the one making it happen, is what's coming through. Maybe you are just going with the flow. But there is an ending of a past cycle here, which again, going back to the alchemy card, it does talk about the past energy, the red energy, and the blue energy is the new energy. Also, like the different aspects of personality as well, the angel, the devil. The world in reverse can also imply that basically that you just don't feel ready. You don't feel ready for a new beginning. You don't feel ready for the world to end that cycle on you. And it is never an obvious thing either. So you may be completely oblivious to the situation, but there is definite movement forward here. And you have the Priestess of Discs over the top of your star, which again is this same energy, which is why I feel very strongly that there is something here that you may not be dealing with or hasn't been dealt with. For some of you, this could be a family situation. This could be children involved. And it could be that you're hoping that, like I was saying, you're hoping that the drawbridge will be put back down for you to cross over. Again, male or female. So this is a very strong, like, it feels like a very strong, stubborn energy with this person, and it's almost like you know, you're kind of hoping and wishing for it, but on some level you don't quite know how to make it happen. You don't know what to do with this person. Because you kind of know that they are very stubborn, and if they've kind of closed down on you, if they're not giving anything of themselves to you, then there's not a lot that you can do except move forward. But with that world in reverse, I do feel as though it is reluctant. It's like you don't want to move forward without them, possibly, or the situation in your life. You don't want to leave it behind. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Wheel of Fortune over the top of the Wheel of Fortune. Except this Wheel of Fortune's in reverse. So, Cancer. Like I was saying, you at the centre of your own world, and all of this is kind of what you create around you, and you've got all these planets lining up, kind of saying that, you know, this is what's behind all of this, and it's whether or not we're in alignment with ourselves, depending on what happens with our energy. But the Wheel of Fortune and the Wheel of Fortune together, it's a really strong kind of destined energy. But with it being in reverse, it feels as though the situation, something may have changed that is not feeling like the right way forward. That maybe you're having to cut that line with that person, with that destiny that you thought was your destiny, but now you may be having to kind of re-evaluate it. And it may be as well that there will be this time period, this kind of stoppage, where you will have time to reevaluate, is what I'm being given. This could also be Mercury retrograde, it could also be Saturn retrograde. Saturn is also retrograde. Jupiter's going retrograde. Pluto's retrograde. So there's a lot of retrograde energy happening with the planets, which is what's being shown here in the centre of this Wheel of Fortune. So it may be that you're having to go back and look at something here, Cancer. But things were moving forward, or they appeared to be moving forward, but now the energy is reversing. literally like everything is going backwards again. You're in a place of evaluating, taking a deeper look at something. Possibly rediscovering something that you missed as well. That's another thing about retrogrades. They can kind of show us something that we originally missed the first time round, because they go forward, backwards and forward again 3 times over the same spot with a retrograde planet. So it's kind of really focusing our attention on that particular spot at that particular time. And like I say, we have got 4 planets that are going to be retrograde very soon. We already have Saturn, Pluto and Mercury, and Jupiter's going to be joining them on the 20th, I think it is, the 20th of June, just 2 days before Mercury actually stations. But then I think Neptune joins them as well not long after that. So a lot of reflection and huge, like I was saying, I mean, you have got so many major arcana cards here, Cancer. It's just, don't think I've ever seen this many major arcana cards. I mean, this is just like destiny in overdrive in many ways. It's just like, this is it, is kind of how it feels. It's like, this is it, this is it. But also maybe like as you're moving forward, you don't want to kind of rush into something as well. There's a definite energy here. It feels like a definite energy of like, you know, really kind of going back over the same old ground. So let's see what the light angels message is for you, Cancer, what they would like to tell you here. Okay, you have Saint Kumara, light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear, but it was in reverse. Again, the message when it's in reverse means that it's kind of really important that you take notice of it. It's something that it really wants you to know. So Sanat Kumara. Let's see who Sanat Kumara is, what he wants to say. Okay, there we go. So Sanat Kumara, which means eternal youth, is an advanced cosmic light being who is dedicated to helping the earth rise up towards the light. He is, as far as I'm concerned, the leader of the keepers of the light. He has been acknowledged as a god in Hinduism and in the Mahabharata story, which has come down from heaven bearing God's divine plan. In more recent times, he has been acknowledged as coming from Venus and bringing through unconditional love. Now, this is kind of the idea of the divine plan as well. Like, you can't push against the divine plan. You can't force what isn't supposed to be happening to happen. And the Ace of Cups here is also unconditional love as well. Just feeling that love. Whether it's actually for anybody in particular or just for yourself, Cancer. It's a sense of being back in that energy. He has eyes that are made of the cosmos, with the ability to penetrate the soul and activate its brightest light yet. He can seem otherworldly because his looks are beyond human. He is a being of the light, which he literally is right there. Sorry about that. Shining with the purest intentions. He is the twin flame of Lady Venus. Together they activate the heart and light of those who welcome their help so they can shine brighter than ever. Venus and Sanat Kumara. So the extended message is, you are here to light up the world. You may feel that you are being pushed or that there is a lot going on at once. And this is because your energy is magnetic to others and they want it in their life. Take the time to listen to your inner voice. Remember the cosmic light of heaven and draw it into you. That is all you need to do to inspire the world. That's a powerful message, Cancer. Inspiring the world. Almost like you can't, or you won't, shall we say, you can't or you won't escape your destiny. It is there. You are part of it. Whatever that destiny is meant to be. So let's have a quick look with the Angels of Light. Interestingly, a lot of light in this reading. So many Arcana cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, yeah, 10 major Arcana cards. Big energy, big reading. So, Angels of Light, what would you like to say to Cancer at this time? Source of all that is, all that has ever been, and all that is yet to be. Message for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus rising and cusp energy. Oh, before I forget, Cancer, the cusp energy is going to be the 0 degree moving away from Gemini and the 29 degrees moving away from, or moving into, sorry, Leo. So if you have any, sorry, if your sun is at that degree, those degree points, then you are going to be a cusp Cancer. So you may want to check out the Gemini reads that I've put out, and you may also want to check out the Leo reads that I will be putting out as well. And also any of the other signs as well that resonate with your moon or your rising or your Venus itself as well. So, curiosity. See life through the curious eyes of a child, and you will discover a never-ending source of happiness and excitement. Curiosity keeps you alive, interested and interesting. The angels are inviting you to be curious about yourself. Start exploring who you are and you will grow personally and spiritually. Be interested in people and you will discover an eternal source of fascination. Be curious about the wonderful universe in which you live, about the angels themselves and their role in the divine plan. The radiance of your delight in life will illuminate you. There's a lot of illumination for you at this time, Cancer. And so the affirmation is, I explore the wonder of life. You can see that. I'll take my finger away from that a little bit more. There we go. So I'm going to leave your reading there and say thank you very much for watching and listening to me. I hope that it has been of some benefit, that you have got something from this reading, Cancer, that you've learned something. If you have, could you please thumbs it up for me, because the more likes I get on my videos, the more they get put out into the bigger broader YouTube world for people to see them and hopefully come back and kind of think, oh, like be a little bit curious about it and think, oh, I'll go and check that out, and then maybe even subscribe. So if you have subscribed already, thank you very much, and if you have liked my videos as well, thank you very much. And if you haven't, please could you, because it really will help to grow my channel, which is what I'm really trying to do at this time. I have been saying for a while that I had quite like 3 months off because I had a big square with Saturn and my Mars and my Mercury, and Saturn is still squaring some of the stuff in my Taurus at this time as well. So we've just had this big Taurus, sorry, this big square Uranus in Taurus, which is actually affecting my planets as well. So I'm still trying to keep up with it and to do as much as I can, but it is a bit of a challenge. Square energy is never easy. So with that being said, please again, if you want to share my videos, sorry, my mind's gone off Mercury retrograde, I've gone kind of completely off track. Yeah, if you want to share my videos, please also do so if you feel that they'll benefit anybody else that you know. And to those of you who have already shared my videos, thank you again, really appreciated. And the little bell when you subscribe, if you decide to subscribe, will turn up, and you can decide whether or not you want to see my videos as and when, or want to know when they're out. And also, before I forget, there is a playlist with all of my videos on it. I do the full moon, the new moons and the tarot and the astrology for both of those. And also I do all the sun signs as well. So I'm going to leave it there, Cancer, and say all the best, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Take care of yourselves.